Hey guys, what's up? It's Scott Hollenbeck here, and I'm right now all the way up at Fort Worth, and I was kind of enjoying myself nearby the pool. I was actually thinking about jumping in, but we got a big party tonight, but there's one amazing thing I gotta show you. There's a huge collection in this house of old classic airsoft guns. My friend Dan here has so much stuff from years and years ago from old airsoft past, but he doesn't realize how expensive his collection really is. And a lot of them are still in box. There's gonna be a lot of awesome stuff in here. Think of it like an airsoft collection for collectors, like a collector's dream house. Let's go check out this awesome stuff. So despite your collection for books, how did you get across all these collectible guns and stuff like that? I mean, there's so much stuff up there, and I can barely see you with the sun. But you know what I mean? Like, there's so much stuff up there that like real collectors would kill for, and you don't really know the lore behind a lot of those guns.
Yeah, I really don't. I mean, a lot of times when I got started, what I would do is I'd go out on eBay, and you know, someone would be selling a whole collection of guns, and my goal was, we ran an airsoft field for my son and his friends, and they were all like 12 years old, and a lot of them didn't have decent airsoft guns, so I would give them guns and let them borrow guns. So like you were pointing out, the JLS F200, I mean, that was one that we thought was a junk gun, and frankly, you know, compared to the G&G, it doesn't work as well, but I guess it's a collector's item now. And so, you know, I would go on, sometimes I'd go on overseas, I'd go to eHobby USA, and I'd see a gun that we liked, and that'd be a Christmas present, we would order it, and you know, it wouldn't get used because, you know, we were looking at the Taurus, the Raging Bull. You know, that's one that's kind of fun if you've got the right place to use it, but a 6-shooter doesn't work that well everywhere else.
You want to go check out the other ones?
Okay, let's go talk.
And you have a thing for AUGs, I feel.
I've had an AUG phase. What happened is we would, whenever we get like, we decide we liked a gun, my son and I, we'd have to buy one for him and one for me. And then we always figured, well, you have to have a third because you want to make sure if one breaks down when you're at an op or an event, you've got plenty of guns. So, over here, these boxes are my loadouts. I've got Italian and then Russian underneath. So.
Now I remember this from, I think, oh no.
Yeah. And actually the battery we've been trying to charge, the problem with this is there's a battery that goes in.
Oh yeah, I thought that was broken for a second. It's like people were gonna be crying. Yeah, I forgot about the foregrip is the battery.
In stock, so. And you're gonna make me do this on camera, aren't you there, Scott?
Well, I mean, if it looks good, I mean, you don't have to really do that much. I mean, just look at the magazine.
Yeah. There we go.
And how'd you get on this? Like, how'd you even get one of these?
This involved a lot of work. I contacted sellers in France. I contacted G&G directly. I contacted people in Italy. You know, worked on my Italian and my French. Finally, it was Extreme Airsoft that connected me. Everybody else had kind of ignored me when I talked to all the major manufacturers. They all gave me they assumed I was some kid that wasn't really serious about buying a $900 Gold AK.
But if I knew you and know the kind of stuff that you already own, I mean, after all, you only own, you know, a minigun. So
right. So, I mean, this is exactly when I saw this was going to be made, I just wanted to make sure I went one of the 500 that were out there. And I do. I have it. The only drawback is the battery dies on them. It's a LiPo that's built in, and currently I've got it with someone who's trying to rehab the battery on it so we can get it working again.
It's like the attic of classic airsoft. All right, so picture this. Old SEMAs, right? I mean, SEMAs aren't very special. Even the old ones, they're just old SEMAs. But then we get old classic Echo 1s, SG2s. That's still not really special. But then, Real Sword, SVD, yep, still in box. TSD products back here, old JG Scorpions still in box, a whole bunch of Sigs. He really likes those. Magazines for days, Tokamuri Breacher, Tokamuri AK-74U, the little Spetsnaz version. I guess it's not very correct to say AK-74U, but you get the idea. A bunch of revolvers. That's a TM G series pistol or Glock. Let me just move this over. It's just an empty box. Now, that's pretty old stuff right there.
Still recording? Let's see, I've got a box of old night vision devices. In here, that's other electronic stuff, but some cheap stuff, but this is interesting. This is a set of night vision I've had for probably now 20 years. It's Gen 1 Russian, and it's sure to give you cancer. So, but it basically mounts with a headset on your head, like that.
Oh, that looks very practical.
Yeah, yeah, it's very heavy. So that's a lot of fun. I've yet to see anyone actually wearing something like this at an op.
Would you even want to? Well, that specific pair.
It gives you this, it gives you this awful buzz and a headache after about 20 minutes. So no, I wouldn't want to wear it. You know, I don't really want brain cancer.
They're making Skittles in your head.
Exactly.
But then, move this over. Those are old STAR and Ares M60s. And those aren't the only ones in his collection.
Let's see, what else do we have?
A whole bunch of P90s. I mean, they're everywhere. A whole bunch of little Springer pistols. Whole bunch of magazines, extra little stuff. Then we get to the stockpile of awesome guns I picked out. I've checked out the things. I was wondering, what's the story behind your little Inokatsu M60 back here? Because I heard when this came out, like long ago, this was the gun.
It was. I had 2 STAR M60s, and so what I didn't like about the STAR Ares is actually probably the one that's dusty. The STAR Ares are a little light. I mean, you can run around with one of those. It's kind of like the minigun compared to the new microgun. The STARs are light, so I wanted the Inokatsu. It's very heavy duty. It runs a Gen 3 gearbox, which I thought would be a little easier to work on. The problem with the STARs is they have their own gearbox. It's a little problem. So I've used this a bit. It probably needs a good tune-up, and it's got a lot of cosmetic issues that kind of make it less than attractive. But it's one of the guns that I've kept up here, and one of these days when I get time, I plan to put a little work into it and get it running. And it's particularly for like a NOM-style loadout, get back to the NOM-style front end that this thing should have, and not the later thing that a subsequent user tossed on it.
I kind of think of it as like the old muscle car that's been in the barn that needs to get worked on one day.
That's exactly what that is.
But then we come over here, and there's just more. This was actually one of my first airsoft guns. That's the SEMA CQB-R, which is kind of ironic. It's an M4, but it's actually heavier than the normal real M4. But I actually really did not like this gun. But it got me through. Then we come down here, and M3 Tokyo Marui Super 90. Oh yeah. Then we got the AK-47, the normal AK-47, of course, and our TM. And check out those old KWA logos. This is the old KG36 Commando. Now these, I can tell, are very pricey. I mean, the price tag is still there. It's a little blurry. It says $319.99. And I know a lot of people that are still looking for these guns. And hell, if you don't want the regular KWA version, why not the TM version? Yep, he's got that one too. What's behind this little story of this SIG down here? I forgot what model this is.
This is the Tokyo Marui. Now, the interesting thing about this is where Tokyo Marui came out with a 3-round burst fire.
That's not running with a MOSFET, is it?
No MOSFET.
Mechanical.
It came out with a mechanical 3-round burst. So it's Tokyo Marui, real solid, great range. It's just, again, one that doesn't ever fit the loadout I happen to be running on a given day, and I don't really want to take it out for a skirmish day.
And what's funny is you don't see SIGs very often, but then again you have like 40 in here.
I went through a phase, like I really like the SIG, the 551, and for a while you could get Tokyo Marui SIGs for $120 on eBay, or people selling them used. So I ended up with a whole bunch of them because I really like them. The only big problem is the magazines for them are hard to find.
Yeah.
You know, and they're expensive. So don't do it. Didn't use them.
Nope. It's kind of interesting how you got both a JLS F200 and the G&G, but that's your son's.
This was my son's. When he started Airsoft, we went and bought our first real Airsoft guns at the Army store in Garland, Texas. We've been buying stuff, you know, kind of low-range guns, SEMAs and whatnot, from Airsoft Megastore, Evike, those type of places online. And we wanted to go buy a really good gun. So we went there, and he saw this, loved it. It was, you know, I think $300, something like that at that point in time. Used this when he first started playing. He's 12 years old. This gun was as big as him. You know, he's small. And then after we bought that, I found a guy selling a bunch of guns on eBay. And the guy wanted to meet whoever sold the guns to him, so I went and met. He had probably about 12 guns, and this was one of them. He wanted to make sure that whoever selling the guns to wasn't a criminal. Or he was really, I'm serious, because he was in criminal trouble and he was trying to raise money to pay his lawyer. So I went and met with him, and you know, this is actually one of the guns. And like I was saying earlier, when we had our own airsoft field here at our place, we would, for Cormac and his friends, we would loan out guns to people, AUGs, and
flappy charging handle.
Yeah, you know. So,
very rigid.
Very, not very rugged. This only had like one mag that would work with it, one high cap that would stick in there, and that was the gun they got to use.
What's kind of interesting is the G&G I hear does the same thing. It only works perfectly with its own magazines.
Yeah.
M4 magazines, it's just not having it.
Exactly. It's kind of the typical problem with us. So.
Over here we have bricks.
Yeah, and like, you know, we had a lot of the low-priced, the low-powered AUGs, and you know, stacks of them.
Yes.
You know, we would use them, loan them out to people, they break, and we just pile them up. So eventually, if we ever out at 878 get an armory set up, we'll probably spray paint these and put them out there in the wall.
Oh God. Well, yeah, I was about to say, yeah, if you're doing it to those, yes, but if you're doing it to, you know,
Katsu or something, no, that's like you said.
That's criminal.
Yeah. So what else is fun? Oh. We went through the lever action, the cowboy stage. We have like lots of revolvers.
I remember these were like popular for like a few months.
Yeah, we used these, loved those. Those were always fun. See if you could actually go out there and play with the guys with the AUGs, and that was before Polar Stars came around.
Over here, these aren't super rare, but I just thought these were cool. On the bottom here, we have a SEMA RPK. I mean, you can go get one of those new now. And then we have an SRC RPK, which actually has, it's cheaper. I think the SRC one is actually cheaper than the SEMA, but it has way better wood in my opinion. I mean, the SEMA wood on their 8Ks is always orange and ugly looking to me. But look at that, we even have wood on the grip. Even though I don't think that's very correct, it still looks way better. I'm not sure what brand G36 this is, but I just thought it looked really good. If I could make a guess, it's either an Echo 1 or a Classic Army.
What else do we have up here?
Your interesting AUG.
Yeah, the interesting AUG collection here. This is another eBay find. You know, it had the rocket launcher, the grenade launcher on the front, and it's a Tokyo Marui that someone actually spent a lot of work modifying. Someone will probably see the video and be like, hey, that's my old gun. So he had a little ring mount scope on the top.
I was joking, it's like, you don't really need sights, just add these on, they're ghost rings.
Yeah, exactly. You look through that, that's your target, you know, that's all you need. See where those BBs are hitting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They sure got a lot of propane. Remember when people wouldn't use green gas, they would just use propane?
Yeah.
That was the thing to do.
Oh yeah, I mean, I still use propane a lot of times for my green gas, for the gas blowback rifles. I think you just get a better kick than the green gas. I just hate the smell of propane.
Yeah, but at least you know when it's leaking.
You do know that, so.
Now I kind of moved around a few things. I mean, this stuff is just kind of showpieces for background stuff, so this isn't anything crazy. Just more strewn about things. I kind of emptied the safe of all the crazy stuff already. And here's another cool little piece. Does anyone remember this? This is a Marusian Raging Bull from Taurus. Now I really wish it was the silver version, but what's cool is it's even here. It's still in box with the original wrapping and everything. So if I can move this off this side for a bit, I'll pick that up in a second. Put that there. Check that out. Now it's not metal, sadly, because this is old. This is old Japanese. So it might look like that is metal, but it's still all plastic. But it's just so neatly designed. You don't get this kind of stuff nowadays. And I think these sell for quite a bit nowadays. You can't really buy them and people want them. So that would be the reason. I think I remember seeing this for the first time because of Jarek 4, because he did a review on the silver version. But I didn't think I would actually one day see one, even though it's not the silver version, it's the black one, but still very collectible. If you like AUGs, we got those too. And if you think that the TM AUG is rare, then there's one, there's two, and I think there's three more. So I think there's three more of them thrown around here. But check out this build. Oh yeah, we have a Grenadier AUG. Oh, let me get that in some better light. And no, that's not a TM Uzi. I'd probably cry if that was. One last little piece that I thought was cool, even though it's sadly not the fabled Classic Army G3, just an old JGT3 G3 or whatever the hell you want to call it. To me, it's a G3, and it's one of the only ones we can really get nowadays that's not the LCT that should be coming out sooner or later. I still like these, and if I had the money, I'd definitely get one. But if I could have only one gun in this collection that we see all here, I would probably have to go with not the Inokatsu M60. I probably would want to get the JLS F200 just because of how rare that is. Maybe I'm crazy, but that's just my opinion. Even though I really like the AUGs, especially that old Grenadier AUG all the way back there. And check this out. Can you explain this? You still have packaged MP5 magazines.
Yeah, you know, I just have never needed to open up. It's a SEMA mid-cap.
Beta mid.
And I've been able to pick up extra mags, and I've just never had to use it.
You're your own store, good sir.
Yeah, if I ever need, I mean, and you know, you gotta keep in mind, like I would go to events and I would bring my son, and he usually brought a friend or two, and we'd all try to run the same platform, so that means any gun I bought I had to have at least 3, if not 4, and then magazines for 3 or 4 people. And now, you know, my son's kind of quick because he's 18 and going to college, so I'm by myself, and, you know, I guess I need to have some more children.
More airsofters. Breed more airsofters.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay. Okay. Really hot in there, and I'm completely drenched in sweat, but we still have some more guns to check out here. And this is going to be more of the private collection that's not going to be upstairs covered in dust. You almost forgot about something, didn't you?
I did. This is the SVD real sword, so real steel parts from China. And this was actually an original by Bingo Works. They did this for Raven with Clan Reckoning.
Oh, I didn't even freaking notice.
Yeah, so it's Polar Star. And excellent rifle, but last time I took it out of the box, it had some serious problems with it. Wasn't firing very well, so I'm getting ready to send it back, box it up and send it back to Bingo Works for a tune-up.
Oh,
which,
Rudy.
you know, given the fact that it's been out there running for about 6 years. Wait, 6 years probably exaggeration. Probably, what? When did Polar Stars first come out? 4 years ago?
I started Airsoft like 3 years ago, and it was new then.
Okay, this was one of the first, as far as I know, from what I understood, one of the first times Polar Stars were installed, and it may have been the first time one was ever put into a SVD.
Well, trust Rudy from Bingo Airsoft Works to do it, right? And Big Boy PKM. I love how they look, but I absolutely hate running a PKM. It is one of the more cumbersome guns, I think.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you really, and one of the things that bothers me, one of the things I have in my to fix list is the bipod on this fell off, and it's just a little C-clamp. Not a big deal to get it back together and put a pin in there, but I want to do something that looks good and not just the paper clips.
And that too.
This is Polar Star again. This is another Bingo Works project.
I shouldn't even be surprised.
No.
The man literally, I don't know if you ever saw, whenever I started making those Polar Star build shows a long time ago, he literally threw a fusion engine inside of a toaster. And he submitted that as a joke.
Wow.
And I thought it was a serious entry. I was like, you're going to take #1 with the toaster.
I mean, no one.
He can do it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And that's where we're going to be tomorrow. Rolling Thunder 2.
Yeah, and you need one of those stickers for your computer.
Yeah, I don't have one yet.
There you go.
Woo! Hey guys, just came back from my attic of airsoft guns. But you know what I like more than collectible airsoft guns? Knowledge. I read a book a day, every day. Alright guys, so that's the end of this little tour of Dan's house and his collection of all sorts of rare airsoft guns. But I have one more spot to really show off, but that place is in San Antonio, and this guy has had so many rare airsoft guns, from discontinued and just crazy collectible stuff. But he's owned it since they first came out, like when they were new, but never sold them before. And I've been able to pick up some awesome stuff for review there. But if you'd like to see that video of all sorts of collectible airsoft guns, just the old and discontinued and rare stuff, then throw a like down below for this video and comment what was your favorite thing that you saw in this video. And there is so much stuff to go through, but this is just a little quick and fun video that I had to shoot because 1, Dan's house is amazing, and 2, his collection is amazing. So if you like this video, then let me know in the comments down below. But until that next video drops from the city of San Antonio, or in this case Fort Worth, I'll be sure to see you all next time.